The brief from client was, I mean, it was quite a broad brief, but it was about how we could grow the business. Obviously, eye tests and things like that are, they're kind of a standard thing. And we looked at a whole lot of different ways of doing it. So there were a lot of other ideas that we were looking at. But one of these ideas was the fact that there was, I think it's either 1 in 4 or 1 in 6 people in Australia have, or children rather, have eye problems that are untreated or untested or unrecognized. And one of the reasons for that is obviously children don't like going to dentists, doctors, or going for eye tests. So we started to think about this. There was about 5 of us involved, and we came up with this idea of, well, what if you could create an eye test that a child didn't recognize or didn't realize was happening? And it's kind of counterintuitive if you have a company and you create an eye test outside of their business. But with all the other digital things that we did an app. We did a whole lot of things with the University of Melbourne. We created this product where you could test your children's eyes at home by reading them a bedtime story, and it would indicate if there was any issues. So it wasn't a complete eye test, but it would give you an idea. And that had a great result in terms of a huge increase in eye tests. So locally, it won a whole lot of awards at Award, which is Australia's big show. It won a couple of golds there. It's won a gold innovation line at Cannes. It was best of show in the Capels in New York. It won gold at one show. It won gold at Clio. It won gold at the New York festivals. It was recognized at D&AD. I think it was a nomination there. What else? It's won a lot of media awards as well. It's won quite a few Grand Prix in some of the media shows around the world, and it's also won a lot of effectiveness golds or Grand Prix around the world. And then recently it was put in the Gunn Report, the cases for creativity, which are 17, I think there's 17 different pieces of work that have won both gold at Cannes for creative and gold for effectiveness. So that's the criteria. It has to have won for creativity and effectiveness. So I'm particularly, proud of that's done that. And then obviously this is sort of the nice way to say goodbye to Penny after 2 years. So this has been great. I think what's interesting that's happening in advertising now is how fractured it's becoming. So even now, I was the convener of judges for Access, which is New Zealand show, and you look at things like branded content, or you look at things like direct, and it becomes a very difficult thing where you start to look at how all of these things are, what the definition is of what these campaigns are anymore. It's becoming very hard to actually separate ideas, I guess. Um, you know, what is efficacy? I mean, I would say in Penny's case, there was a direct correlation between what we did and the fact that there were results. And I mean that's been proven over and over again with effectiveness awards. I think there are other pieces of work these days that are much more difficult to measure, in very absolute, tangible ways. But if you take something like the Ice Bucket Challenge, or if you take things like a Girl, campaigns like that, these are campaigns that are almost fluid. They move between channels, and that's becoming a really interesting space for creatives to play in, I think. It's a hard question to answer because I think there's so many different types of work being made today. So for me to give you a single definition, I find difficult.